So, hello everyone. Welcome to classes Copyright Challenge 2021. My name is Noramir and I'm from Muse Private Limited. And this is a video production workshop that is conducted by us, by me, by Muse Private Limited. We are a production house in Singapore. And here I'm going to pass my knowledge to you to help you guys out in the competition. So, let's go. This is the outline of what I'm gonna be showing you guys. So first I'm gonna start with the contest briefing. So I'll reiterate what Caroline said and add more technical specifications that are needed, or some of the questions that you guys asked, I will address it. And then next I will go through the video production process, which if you guys are not familiar with how to create a video or how it all works, I'm here to share my knowledge with you. This is the theme. The theme is copyright protection that you just got the information from Caroline. So the video can be filmed with any device. So you can use your phone, you can use a camera, up to you. Depends on each individual, what level you guys are comfortable with for filming. And you can also produce it with any graphical animations if you can do that. We have two categories. Category A is for secondary school students. Category B is for JC, Polytechnic, and IT. So this is the submission terms. So you can submit individually or in a team of up to 4, with one of the 4 submitting on behalf of the group. And all submissions need to be accompanied by the contact information of the supervising teacher in charge. And there is only one submission per entry. So that means only one entry per group or as an individual. The judging criteria will be based on your creativity, the engagement, how engaging your video is, and how inspirational of the video, how much inspiration can be drawn from watching the video. So next, I'll go through understanding the requirements and applying it to your video. So this is the technical requirements for the video. So I would advise for you guys to pay attention to this part. So for medium, you can choose between live action video, meaning you just take your phone or camera and shoot real people doing skits or talking. Next, if you're advanced enough, you can also do animation or animated slides. You can also do an actual skit like the live action. But later I'll show you guys more on what medium you can use. So the duration of the video must be 90 seconds or below. Submissions exceeding 90 seconds will be disqualified. And the resolution must be full HD, so it's in 1920 by 1080p. If you don't know what resolution means, is I'm sure all of you guys serve YouTube, right? So when you go to YouTube and then you press the little setting icon and then you see like quality, right? You see one that says 1080p. So we want you to shoot in that quality. If you don't know how, don't worry, I will also teach you how to do that. And then when you want to name your file, the text will be your short title of your entry, and the format of your video will be in MOV or MP4. So you don't have to worry about this format thing, because if you're shooting with an iPhone, it will confirm be MOV. If you're shooting with an Android, it will confirm be MP4. And if you're using a camera, it depends on which camera. Certain cameras will have different formats. So just make sure you can convert it to MOV or MP4. And finally, the file size limit is 200 megabytes and no bigger than that. I'll just tell you guys how to submit it first, so you guys have to pay attention to this. When you guys have finished the video, right, you guys have to send the video via vtransfer.com to this email right here. So you need to take down this email, cscclass@muse@gmail.com. Okay, so remember, when you want to submit, you do WeTransfer to csc.class.muse@gmail.com via WeTransfer.com. This is the step-by-step process. First, you go to WeTransfer.com. Then you gotta log in or create an account. Then you verify your account, check your email, verify the account. Then you add your file, which is over there, as you can see here. Add your file. So when you verify your email and you get the code, right? You usually get this if it's your first time using. So which is probably most of you, this is your first time using, I think. So once you add your file over here, you press the plus sign, this is where you add your file. So you must make sure that it's 200 MB and it's MOV or MP4 format. Then over here, we make sure that it's the csc.class.muse@gmail.com under email too. And then over here will be your email. And then the message, you must include your name, your group name, school, and contact number. And then you just press transfer. And then this will show up showing a successful transfer. You would receive an email. verify, you transfer, you send, so you're done. Okay, next I'm gonna talk about the actual video production process. So in video production, there is 3 stages that we go through. There is pre-production, there is production, and there is post-production. And then in each of these, there is certain things that is inside each category. What pre-production is basically before shooting or before anything, you have to have a plan. Okay, so when you're producing your video, the planning is key. You gotta plan out the script, the camera angles, the wardrobe, what is your actors gonna wear, or what are you gonna wear, the audio, the lighting, and also the set. It sounds very complicated, but trust me, once you get like you have this planned out, this is the reason why this pre-production is very important. You realize that, oh, okay, luckily I did planning for this, so later on, I already did this. This is the first stage of the pre-production, which you wanna plan your video by creating a script. So you can create an outline first and like plan out what exact points you want to deliver in your video. With an outline like this, you can plan out the structure of your video and you'll miss out any important things. Take this for example. So let's say you start with the subject. What is the message or video about? So for this one, the theme is copyright protection, right? Bear in mind that that's the subject. Then intended audience. Who is this video for? Is it for families, parents, or is it like for everybody? Mass audience. Number 3, the purpose. Why are you making this video? What do you want people to know? What do you want to explain? So from this, you can jot down in your script how you can craft the script in a way like how you want people to understand what your video is about. Next is the look of the video. Is it a film style or genre? How you want this video to look? So you can write a script that you can follow through with the exact words to say, which you probably have to either memorize or you can refer to once in a while in the video, and then you can stitch them together when you're shooting it so it will look smoother. With a script that you can refer to, you can control and possibly plan out how many words or how many content is in there to fit the 90-second duration of the video. So the scripting is very important. It's the base of the video. Without it, you don't know what to start with. You don't know what comes next. Next is choosing your gear. So, like I said, you can either shoot with an actual camera or you can use a phone. Doesn't matter. The 3 things that usually people use for filming is, of course, a camera, and then you need lights, and of course, good sound is also appreciated. So you need camera, lights, and audio. So we start with the basic shooting guide on how to shoot using a smartphone or camera. Okay, this is very important because now TikTok very popular, correct? Because TikTok is in orientation where it's portrait. And in this competition, we would like for you to shoot your video horizontally instead of vertically. So if you're shooting, please shoot it this way on top instead of the below one. Okay, shoot it horizontally instead of vertically. So next, shooting settings. Okay, so this was what I mentioned just now, that your resolution has to be at least 1080p, which I recommend 1080p. So for iPhone and Android, you guys do have the option. In iPhone, under camera and then record video, you can change it to 1080p over here, 1080p 30 fps over here, and then for Android it's over here, full HD 1920 by 1080. That's the resolution that you guys will need. Alright, next I'm gonna teach you about composition. Composition is basically how you frame your subject and how things appear in the camera to make it look nicer. So in this particular method is called the rules of thirds, where if you have a grid on, you place your subject on a third of the box. So as you can see, like this man here, he's at the 1/3 of the box. This man here, also 1/3 of the box. So this is great for any setting, like either talking to the camera kind of setting or 2 characters talking to each other. It also works. Okay, next we have the foreground composition. Foreground composition is basically you make use of the foreground, the subject, and the background. So as you can see here, the camera here is in the foreground because it's at the front. Okay, and then this is the subject, which is the one that is in focus, is the clearest thing. And then background is whatever is behind the subject. So when you play with this, right, if you have a foreground and background, it gives more depth to your video. It just looks better lah. This is one of the composition techniques that you can use. Next is shot sizes. So if, for example, your video ends up being a skit, don't be afraid to play around with shot sizes. You don't have to shoot one size all the way. So what I mean is, you don't have to shoot every single scene or shot in the wide shot. You can go medium close up like this, and you can even go close up like this. So there are different purposes lah. So like, for example, close up, the reason why close up like this exists is because if you want to show expression, want to show like someone like really smiling, or maybe if like they are sad, then they will be crying, then you use the close up. The medium close up is just to make the audience feel closer to the character. So don't forget to use your different shot sizes. Next is tips for smartphone, because I feel like a lot of you would end up using a smartphone, because I think everyone here has a smartphone. So when you're going to shoot video, please use the rear camera of your smartphone, because it is usually the one with a higher megapixel. From my experience, that's why I've been noticing. So far, they haven't made phones that have a higher megapixel in the face cam yet. It's still rear camera. You can use a stack of books to use as a tripod if you don't own one, or anything. Just try to use some kind of tripod or something to make the shot stable if it's not a moving shot, like if it's a static shot. Because you're using phone, you should use natural light. I think I'm just gonna mention that, okay, natural light is free, that's one, and natural light is easily available and it's everywhere, and it will make your video look super well lit. For example, in the photo here, you can see I shot this in natural light. There's no lighting or whatever, just the sun itself. So make use of that if you can. Because if you shoot dark scene on the phone or camera, you need a different kind of lighting to make it look nice. So I would advise to use the natural light. Next is audio. How to record audio. So how to record clean audio. Since you guys are in a group, perhaps one phone can be used for recording video, and then the other one can be recording audio. Because what I mean is, when you're shooting video from far, right, if you use your phone, you shoot video from far, if the person is far away, the voice will be very far. It will be picked up very far. So what I mean by using a second phone is using someone else's phone to put nearer to the person. Then that phone will be picking up the audio instead of the video. Then that way you can mix the video with the audio. You can use your smartphone and do that, or you can just plug into a microphone like this. You can find this kind of microphone in the malls. It's a very cheap one. This is for if you guys want to use this kind of microphone. If not, just you can use the second phone method. It works as well. But most of the time, this microphone comes with this kind of pin. So if you're using an iPhone, you probably need to get an adapter like this. Let's say you shoot a skit happening, but you're going to use like a voiceover, like someone is talking over in the video. So you can record that separately. For example, you can use your phone and record it in a quiet room. So if you're in a room, switch off everything like your fan or the aircon and close the door. Make sure you like isolate as much noise away from you, and record closer to the subject whenever possible. Don't record like so far away like this, because the voice will be not as clear as when it's near. And refrain from holding the audio device when recording. When you hold your phone or your audio recording device and you talk, you can hear the vibration on the audio. It's not nice. So I would recommend to mount the phone on a stand or just place on a stable surface that doesn't vibrate, and you can record your voice clearly. Okay, so next I'm going to show you an example. So this example right here, right? This is just an example of a video that was produced for a cat grooming company. So our theme is that we need to promote that this company does cat grooming services. From there, we drafted a script. We scripted out, okay, so what services they have, we write down. Where is this shop, we write down. Basically, we just write down what the shop want to promote and what we can help to visualize that. And this is the video we came up with. We also had to work towards a duration, just like you guys. You guys have a limit of 90 seconds. We also had a duration to work with. And I would advise you guys not to be afraid to shoot more, because in the end, it's easier to make something long short instead of making something short become long. So I have another example, which is actually a video from us. We produced this for like our own National Day greeting on our social media 2 years ago. We also planned it out. In this one, if you notice, there's no verbal script, it's just visualized script. So everything in this video is just planned out, how we start the story from start to end. So I'll show you another example. So that was an example of a video that we planned out, and we went out there to shoot it and edited it, and there it is. I'm gonna share the other mediums that you guys can do. So the free and easy, you guys can just be in front of the camera and just read your script without any editing. But it's advised to have a script so that you guys can plan out what to say, and you won't go over the 90 seconds. Can use a sharing using a slideshow with a voiceover. If you guys know how to do stop motion, you also can do stop motion video to tell your story. Lastly is the live action skit, or just a sequence of a story according to the team copyright protection. With that, I have finished my presentation. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Can we have like 1080p but 60 FPS?
You can, but 60 FPS is a very large file, so that's why I said to shoot at 30. But if at the end your final product is still under the limit, then by all means
Okay.
okay.
What are we filming the video about?
So like I mentioned, the video that you're filming about will be about copyright protection. So for example, you can do a skit, or maybe someone creating a book and then maybe someone is copying the book and claiming it to be their own. That's copyright. So does the video have to have human voices? No, it does not have to. If your video can convey the theme of the video without any voices, it just visualize with just visuals, then it's okay. How do you film the time lapse with the surf in the National Day video? Time lapse with we actually used something called a DJI Osmo Pocket. That little camera helped us get that. It's called a hyperlapse if the time lapse is moving. Aditya asked, if we do a skit, can we take off our mask? Yes, you can. For a skit, you can take off your mask. Make sure that it's only the actors that have their mask off. Then everyone else who's like on the camera or anything else have to keep their mask on. If I'm doing the project alone, is it alright? Yes, you can submit the project as an individual, as I mentioned earlier in the slides. Okay, Emmanuel asks, do we need to show face? It is entirely up to you. You don't have to. Like I mentioned, there are many mediums to what you can do for the video. There's like slide sharing or whatever also. But if you're gonna do the skit right in real life and not wear masks, just make sure you guys observe the safe distancing measures lah. Aditya asks, if we use music or other effects like green from YouTube, do we need to provide citation or references? This is the question for Caroline actually.
Based on my understanding, YouTube is open access to everyone else, but it will be best that you cite in the video that this is from YouTube, from the particular user and the title and everything else. So it's best that you cite in your video, probably towards the end, where you have all your credits and everything.
Just have a citation of your source lah, to be safe. Must the video be exactly 90 seconds? No, it is actually up to 90 seconds. So it can be
minimum is 60 seconds.
Yeah, minimum is 60 seconds, but maximum is 90 seconds. How did you film the train transition in the NDP video? The one where the green bus covers the screen. That is not like we filmed it. That was this part. I'm talking about this part. So that one is gonna be quite advanced. It's actually using After Effects to do that. It's called masking. So if any of you want to experiment by yourself, you guys can search it out on YouTube. It's called masking on After Effects.
They can also use Premiere. Premiere has the effect also. Also, just to clarify too, all the public places that we shoot, right? You guys will need to get permission as well. Just write in and then mention that, it's for a project. They should be able to give you the permission for you to film.
Yep. So in the locations that you guys shoot, right? If it's in your own home or whatever, then you don't need to look for permission because the owner of the home is probably your parents or grandparents. But if you were filming at a public place, like maybe inside a mall or something, then you probably have to write to them to tell them that you're filming there. So if let's say you want to shoot at a certain place, you need to Google up the place. And then inside there will be for sure a contact us page. So just tell them that your students filming for a competition, and then they will reply to you, or you can call them. Okay. Yeah, because if you don't get the right permission and you just shoot like that, right? Either one, you get kicked from the security, or two, once the video is recorded and it's up online, it might not be able to be used because they might notice it and then they'll ask you to take it down, something like that. So just to protect yourselves. So Emmanuel is asking, what's the name format for the video submission? It is here. I leave this.
Does everything inside need to be original? Like, for example, if I come across a royalty-free asset on the internet, can I download it and use it inside the video?
Royalty-free, you need to define the parameters for royalty-free. So I would say the safest way to do it, even though it is royalty-free, is to email the creator itself to say that you're using this as a project, like what was mentioned earlier, because we don't want you to be infringing anything in the creation of this video also.
Okay, because I'm not going to be using it that much, but just in the case where I do.
You're talking about very minimal content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like even the minimal content is always best to ask or to check, with the website creator or even the content creator themselves, because even though it says royalty free, I don't know in which aspect. Sometimes they say royalty free, but we don't know like certain or probably certain parts of it are not, or certain parts can be royalty free, and then they cite it as royalty free. So you have to be very, very certain that, and keep the email correspondence, keep it in save it somewhere, like, just in case, archive it somewhere, just in case, if there is any, dispute in the future.
All right. So back to the point on citing the sources that we get things from, right? For example, you're using free background music from YouTube Library.
Yeah.
So do we have to put the link inside the video, or can it be a separate document?
You can cite it at the end where if you have credits, or how it's at, I would suggest to put it in two formats. So if it's in a written format, like, I'm not sure why do you need a written form, because this is actually in the video itself. So, it's best to put it in the credits towards the end.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, let's just standardize to make it easier for everyone. Whatever source that you use, you just include that in your end credits, because if you look at movies and all that, they also actually credit all the the use of music and stuff in the end credits. Okay.
That's right.
Also, just to add on to that, let's say, for example, you're using graphics, right? I'm sure you all will be familiar with FreePic and all that. Those kind of elements to use in your video, it's acceptable. You don't have to cite because it is meant to be used.
What editing software would you recommend? Industry standard, we do use Adobe Premiere Pro, but I would advise, if you since you guys are still students and you don't have access to Adobe, right? You can use a free software called DaVinci. That is an advanced one. But if you have a Mac, like iMovie, or if you have Windows Movie Maker, is also good enough. But if you want an advanced one, you can download something called DaVinci Resolve. But if you guys don't know how to use it, I would advise to go to iMovie or go for Windows Movie Maker. That will be already installed in your computers. I think for whoever owns a MacBook, they will have iMovie inside their Mac already. And then for Windows Movie Maker lah. So we can use whatever software you're comfortable with. Yes, you can, provided if possible the software you use doesn't come out with a watermark. So let's say if you were to use some free software that has a watermark, then your video will have a watermark, right? We wouldn't want that lah. So try to use a software that won't produce a watermark. And all the software that I suggested is free and useful for this competition.